Good day, everyone. For today's event, I will be presenting to you a review on the standards of MOI, or the Management of Information by the SIBAHE, specifically on data management, general principles, core principles of data management in healthcare, our policy HIS, or the Hospital Health Information System, and details about INA, or the Information Needs Assessment that was currently conducted. Now, I also encourage everyone to continuously participate in all orientations, surveys, and meetings for us to address all the deficiencies noted by the SIBAHE last January. Another chapter of the SIBAHE is the MOI, or the Management of Information. Now, there are 12 standards and substandards of this standard. I will be focusing only on what is written in the CAP, or on the Corrective Action Plan. Now, one of the most valuable resources of our hospital is information. Now, the accuracy of information is most or important for our leaders to support decision making, evaluation of improvements, as well as evaluation on the effectiveness of the improvement. Now, the main requirement that you can find in this chapter includes information needs assessment, information planning, data collection and analysis, information flow and reporting requirements, and security, integrity, and confidentiality of information. Okay, moving on to the standard number 1 of the MOI. It states here that the hospital leaders ensures the conduction of needs assessment related to information management in the hospital. The hospital conducts a needs assessment related to information management based on the hospital's scope of services, complexity of care, and affordable resources, including technology. Now, the needs assessment involves both clinical and managerial staff. The needs assessment identifies the need requirements of external organizations like the Ministry of Health, accrediting bodies, national research, and databases. Now, information technology needs are identified and integrated with the existing information management processes, and relevant clinical and managerial staff participate in selecting, integrating, and using information management technology. Now, one of the top findings is that the needs assessment in our institution was not conducted. So recently, we already conducted this one. So we are asking for your participation and cooperation so that we can give a response to these SIBAI findings. Let's talk about the details of the information needs assessment, or the INA. So what is the benefit, or what's the purpose or objective of this survey? So the first one is to identify the types of information required by the health workers, like the administrator, the doctors, nurses, or even the pharmacists, to perform their duties. Second is to determine the sources of information used by the hospital staff in their daily work, like for example, the patient file, laboratory reports, pharmacy records, hospital databases, or even from your colleagues or supervisor. So the third one is to assess the accessibility and availability of information within the hospital. So we will be able to know from the staff if the accessibility would be easy or it will be very difficult, or if I need some information, can I access it immediately or I have to wait. Then another is to identify the challenges faced by the health workers when assessing the information. So do they encounter missing record, delayed report, incomplete information, or even system downtime or lack of training on the part of the staff? Now, the fifth one is to evaluate the use of electronic system like the electronic health record, or the EHR, as well as the hospital information system, or the HIS, in managing hospital data. Then another is to determine the frequency with which healthcare workers use in the hospital information system. So how often does the staff use the information system? So they use it daily, rarely, or all the time. Then with this information needs assessment, we will be able to recommend strategies for improving information management in the hospital. Another findings of the SIBAHE is on MOI standard number 5, which talks about the training and education on the principles of data management. First, what is data management? From the word itself, it means how we manage the data or the information that we have. So definition is that the process of collecting, storing, organizing, protecting, and maintaining data so it can be used effectively and efficiently. Okay, moving on to the next, we have data management principles. So these are guidelines that helps the organizations collect, store, protect, and use data effectively. So there are key principles here. So the first one is the data quality. So data should be accurate, complete, consistent, and reliable. For the data integrity, the data must remain unchanged and trustworthy. Second, we have data security. So the sensitive data must be protected from unauthorized access, breaches, or loss through encryption, access control, and security policies. While data accessibility, so authorized users should be able to easily access the data they need when required for work, analysis, or reporting. So the third one is data privacy and confidentiality. So personal or sensitive information must be kept confidential and handled according to the privacy regulation and policies. Fourth, we have data standardization. So the data should follow a consistent format, definition, and standard so it can be easily shared or understood across department. Fifth, we have data governance. So clear policies and roles, responsibilities should exist for managing the data, ensuring accountability and proper oversight. Then another, we have data backup and recovery. So regular backup system should be in place to protect data from loss or ensure quick recovery after system failure. The last one is data compliance. So data management must follow legal, regulatory, and organizational requirements. Settings, the core principles of data management is critical to ensure that healthcare data supports quality improvement and patient care. So core principles includes, first one, we have the data collection. So data must be clearly defined and systematically collected. So we have to identify what data is needed, like for example, infection rates or training compliance. So we have to use standardized tools or forms. So we have to ensure that staff understood or understand how and when to collect the data. The second one is data accuracy and validity. So the data must be accurate, reliable, and valid. So we have to verify that the data truly represents what is being measured. We have to use consistent definitions and indicators. And we have to conduct periodic data validation or auditing. So the third one is data analysis. So collected data should be analyzed to identify trends, patterns, or performance gaps. Now we have to use charts, dashboards, or statistical tools. We have to compare also the results with the benchmarks or the targets. So the fourth one is data reporting and communication. So results must be shared with appropriate departments or leadership. So we have to present findings in meetings like in committee meetings, reports, or dashboards. We have to ensure that the staff understand the results and their implications. So the fifth core principles, we have the data used for improvement. Now, this is one of the most important principles in using the data to improve healthcare quality and patient safety. So we have to identify the problems. We have to implement corrective action plans or improvement projects. So we have to monitor if the intervention leads to improvement. So an example this in the healthcare setting, like we have collect data on hand hygiene compliance. So we have to validate that the observations are correct. We have to analyze the monthly compliance rate, and we have to report results to the Infection Control Committee. And finally, we have to implement staff training if the compliance drops. So in simple way to remember, we have to collect, validate, analyze, report, and improve. Okay, now moving on to data management with VIDA system. So VIDA system is defined as a framework used to manage patient and medical data efficiently. It ensures that the healthcare information is accurate, well processed, securely stored, and accessible to authorized staff. Okay, now moving on to the next slides. So Health Information System, what does the acronym VIDA stand for? So we have letter V, means verification or validation, which ensures data entered into the system is accurate, complete, and reliable. Now, verification ensures that the patient information is correct and valid before it is stored in the system. Now, verification helps prevent medical error or incorrect treatment. Now we have letter I, input or integration, which means combining data from different sources into a single unified system. Now, input refers to entering patient data into the healthcare information system or in the electronic health record or EHR. Now, we also have And the typical data that is being entered, we have the personal or the patient personal details. Then we have data processing or distribution, which refers on how the data is stored and shared across different system or locations and users. Now, data processing involves organizing and analyzing the stored data so it can be used for medical decisions. Then we have A, as for it means access. This ensures that the right healthcare professional can retrieve patient data when needed while maintaining privacy. Now, the authorized users may include doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and other healthcare workers, including the medical administrators. Now, the security measures include password protection, role-based access control, and even data encryption. Okay, on to the next slide. We have the policy of MOI on information system. So the title of the policy is HIS VIDA system. Purpose is for the Electronic Health Administration policy clarifies to achieve the following. So adding and modifying data on the VIDA system orders, editing patient information on VIDA system order where the modification cannot be made except for the Electronic Health Administration and personnel who have the authority to make amendments, including but not limited to the reception, ER, and patient relation office. Okay, now moving on to the definition of terms. So we have Hospital Health Information System, or the HIS. VIDA system is the administrating and storing any health data or information of our hospital patients or clients. Then we have system data. These are the data that is prepared previously and saved in the VIDA system. For the system data, they're divided into three types of data. So we have type 1, type 2, and type 3 data. Okay, now as for the responsibilities, this is the responsibility of the head of the department and the representatives, head of the electronic health office or the person in charge on duty, and the system responsible for cloud solution company. Okay, now moving on to the policy of health information system. So the first one is type 1 data. So remember that these are the internationally approved data that are added in the system, like the names of diagnosis, the operations, which cannot be edited. Now type 1 data is fixed and cannot be changed or modified. Second, adding or editing type 2 and type 3 data on the system orders, it must be approved by the head of the department. Remember the type 2 data, these are the names of medications, examinations, units, reports, forms, which can be activated or deactivated or edited according to the standard improvements approved by the Ministry of Health. Why type 3 data? These are fixed data which are related to the hospital, like the department that exists in the system, the beds, the names of the clinics, the addresses, and the transfer of patient reports of appointment cards, or barcode stickers for the different departments which can be edited based on the hospital needs and changes. Now, for new adding and to edit type 2 data on the system, it must be standard and matching the international medical improvement and must have a reliable medical reference or formal forms that are approved and must be attached. Then we have patient data can be edited in case the concerned department cannot edit it. Now, the VIDA system database is performed weekly to verify recurring data, to verify laboratory, radiological, and pharmacy or pharmacy inputs, operations, and registration of data. Okay, moving on to the next slide. With regards to the written procedures of health information system, the creation of new users account, it requires the head of the department to send the necessary details to the system authority via the official IT email account of our institution. Now, with regards to sick leave and medical reports, the sick leave is recorded by the physician and it is sent electronically to patient affairs or medical report for review, approval, and it will be electronically issued via the CIHATI system. Now, for the medical reports, it will be written by the physician upon the request of the patient or their companion, and it will be electronically transmitted to patient affairs. Now, the requested medical report, which is already stamped and signed by the concerned physician, can be obtained at the patient affairs or medical report. Okay, so another concern during the Sibahe visit includes number 1, the use of unapproved abbreviations like OD, letter U, SC. These things were noted during the medical record review. Second is the provision of a standardized approved abbreviation list. So later, the quality department will be providing you the list of approved abbreviations, including the problem-prone abbreviations or the prohibited abbreviations. Okay, so another policy from the management of information, we have abbreviations and symbols in the medical record or HIS. So the purpose of this policy is to establish a uniform list of approved abbreviations and symbols, to establish standardized list of abbreviation, acronym, symbols, and those designations that are not to be used in the medical record. Okay, so the policy states that the abbreviations, acronyms, and symbol may be used in the medical record only when they are clearly understood or listed in the list of approved abbreviations. Now, the medical record should not contain abbreviations or symbols that pose a risk to a patient's safety or listed in the official do not use list. Okay, so the following are also included in the policy. So the do not use, the potential problem, and what we need to use instead. So the letter U should not be used. So we have to write unit. IU, we have to write international unit. Then remember the trailing zero and the leading zero. I have already discussed this one during the medication management lecture. So we have to check on this. Then MS, we should not write MS. So we have to write the complete word morphine sulfate or magnesium sulfate, or the MSO4 or the MgSO4. Instead, we have to write morphine sulfate or magnesium sulfate. Now, there is an exception here. So, a trailing zero may be used only when required to demonstrate the level of precision of the value being reported. Like, for example, an imaging studies to report the size of a lesion or a catheter or a tube size. So, trailing zero should not be used in medication orders or other medication-related documentation.